Welcome to the 32nd episode of the Tertius Times podcast. Today is Tuesday, October 5th, 2021. I'm your host, Brian Wright, and today we will look at a report on religious discrimination in the U.S. state of Virginia and more attacks on Christians in Nigeria. There is no interview segment for this week, but I am in communication with someone who has done enormous work on behalf of the persecuted church. God willing, that interview will be available soon. Tomorrow, October 6th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, USCIRF will present an update on at-risk religious communities in Afghanistan. I attended the previous USCIRF hearing, Strategies for Religious Freedom in Fragile States, and found it very informative. I would encourage you to attend this online upcoming event as well. I will announce this again at the end of the podcast. Apparently, Prince William County, Maryland, is requiring a church to go against its collective conscience by demanding it get a liquor license, only to allow the church to skirt around a lengthy and costly special use permit, according to Church Suing Prince William County over Religious Discrimination Liquor License, August 9th, 2021, from Fox 5, DC. Alive Church, less than 20 miles southwest of Washington, DC, was in the process of acquiring the special use permit when the pandemic hit. Quote, Pastor Alan Perdue asked the county if the church could operate like the local breweries and wineries that often don't have to get special use permits, including zoning requirements. Perdue said a county zoning administrator told him that one way to cut through the red tape would be to operate like an agritourism business. The church just needed to get a liquor license first, unquote. The church, however, refused to get a liquor license due to its unwillingness to associate with alcohol and is currently seeking to sue the county based on unfair treatment. While churches are required to go through lengthy and costly special use permit processes, wineries and breweries do not, in spite of being allowed to offer various types of meetings and other similar functions a church would also exercise. An attorney for the church, Ben Sisney, stated that the wineries and breweries pull in a lot of tax revenue, while a typical church does not. So it appears to be a case of big government seeking profits over guaranteed constitutional rights of religious liberties. The county has not responded to any media inquiries, claiming they do not answer questions while the case is being litigated. According to American Center for Law, sues Virginia County for unlawful discrimination or requiring church to obtain liquor license, October 4th, 2021, the Virginia Star, the church's need to purchase and use the land was largely due to the fact the group was unable to continue to use the public school it had been renting due to COVID restrictions throughout the county and state. Pray for Christians in the United States that they are able to gather freely and that those in positions of authority will cease looking essentially for legal shortcuts which violates the church's standard of conduct and grant the constitutional right to assemble. Pray for a live church that they would be given wisdom and strength to live out that wisdom in patience and grace. Pray that God moves in this situation and hearts are changed. On October 2nd, a Christian man, Julius Oshadumo, 78, was kidnapped September 19th from the Evangelical Church Winning All by Fulani herdsmen. Was killed during a rescue operation when Nigerian security forces stormed the Fulani enclave. While one wounded Christian man was rescued, the third is still in captivity. 6 armed Fulani herdsmen attacked the church and killed one member during a service. Oshidomu's wife was seriously injured but is recovering in the hospital. Also on October 2nd at 1 a.m., Fulani herdsmen killed 3 Christians in a separate attack. On September 27th, a Christian professor was taken from his house by a group of armed herdsmen who later demanded a ransom of nearly $50,000 US for his release. The report concludes with information on the status of persecution in the country. Quote, Nigeria led the world in number of kidnapped Christians last year with 990, according to Open Doors 2021 World Watch List report. Nigeria was also the country with the most Christians killed for their faith last year. October of 2019 to October of 2020 at 3,530, up from 1,350 in 2019, according to the World Watch List. In overall violence, Nigeria was second only to Pakistan, and it trailed only China in the number of churches attacked or closed, 270, according to the list, unquote. In addition, Nigeria moved to number 9 from 12 on the World Watch List, places where being a Christian is difficult, while the U.S. State Department included Nigeria in its list of countries of particular concern for engaging in tolerating systemic, ongoing, egregious violations of religious freedom. Finally, the International Criminal Court issued a statement calling for investigation into crimes against humanity in Nigeria. Pray for Nigeria that the continued violence and death would immediately cease and the blood of those slain would be the seeds for a powerful Nigerian church. Pray for those who are compelled to attack churches and Christians, that their hearts become softened by God's Spirit and they lay down their arms and embrace their fellow humans, crying out for forgiveness from those they have persecuted, abused, harassed, or murdered, and especially from God. Pray that they would also find that forgiveness only God can provide. I want to briefly announce again this valuable free online event tomorrow by USCIRF, an update on at-risk religious communities in Afghanistan. Encourage all listening to attend. I also want to remind everyone that the previous event, USCIRF Hearing Strategies for Religious Freedom in Fragile States, has been posted on YouTube. The links are in the description. Thanks for joining me today. I hope to pray for these people in areas of concern and perhaps even inspires you to take positive steps of involvement to alleviate the suffering of so many around the globe. Continue to pray for those mentioned today as you are led. Finally, pray with me that God's peace, eternally beyond our comprehension, guard the lives of all those and flow outward to bring that peace to all the world.